Happy New Year, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Grounded Reason Podcast, our first show of 2017. Unfortunately, it's another Joel-less episode due to the holidays and the fact that we both have families. We just haven't been able to sync up over the past 2 weeks to get an episode together. However, with the holidays behind us, everything should be returning to normal soon. I guess since today was supposed to be a double dose of Joel, I owe you, I guess, a triple dose of Joel? Is that too much Joel for one episode? I don't even know. Maybe we'll just, you know what I could do? We could have the scheduled double dose of Joel next week. And then the 10 subsequent episodes, we can do like a Joel and a 10th. So we'll have 10 Joels and a 10th, and then a double dose of Joel. And then we'll be all caught up on all the Joel we've missed. Or whatever. But I didn't want to leave you guys hanging. So I do have something for today. It's not going to be a full episode. But I've been getting a ton of questions through the blog and through email and through Twitter. And if you want to ask us a question, just, check it out in the show notes. All the contact info is there. But I'm going to cover two major questions I've been getting a lot lately. One, obviously the NFL playoffs are coming up, and a lot of people are asking how they can watch the NFL playoffs if they don't have a pay TV subscription, the traditional cable or satellite. But before I get into that, I want to get into a question I've been asked about Amazon Fire TV sticks, and is it illegal to jailbreak one? Which is an interesting way to ask that question, because there really isn't a such thing as a jailbroken Amazon Fire TV stick. Now, I say that because when the term jailbreaking previously was used, it was usually in regard to iPhones and modifying an iPhone to do what they want, because iPhones are typically built for user experience and supportability, and to limit the user's ability to do things that Apple doesn't want them to do. However, since it is pretty much the operating system of the device is locked down, there are situations where you can't access files directly, or you can't install a piece of software that could run on your Apple device, but just doesn't because of the way that they've locked down the operating system. So what people do is they jailbreak, quote unquote, the device, which basically means that they get root access or super user access to the operating system and reconfigure the device or make changes to the actual core operating system or the kernel. They'll do like what's called a kernel patch and add functionality to the operating system underneath the iPhone or the Mac, which for you techies out there, it's a free BSD Unix-based operating system underneath of that. So once you have root access, you can do whatever you want to the operating system. However, that also means that you can turn your iPhone into a paperweight, because it's people actually call it bricking your iPhone, because it's really kind of a worthless brick at that point. But I wanted to bring that up because jailbreaking is essentially modifying the operating system of a device in such a way that the manufacturer did not intend, which is why there is no such thing as a jailbroken Amazon Fire TV stick. Because when people say that, what they really are saying is that they have a Fire Stick with Kodi installed on it. And what you'll typically see if you'll go down some website or somebody, and they'll tell you that I can get you a Fire TV stick. It's quote unquote jailbroken, and you can watch all the movies and TV shows you want from all your favorite networks and la 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 la. But all they've done is taking the base Kodi install and installed a bunch of plugins into Kodi that will allow you to watch torrented content on the internet or unlicensed property, or, you can pretty much, Kodi is extremely configurable. And while Kodi is 100% legal to use, It's really a matter of how you use it. So just like any media server, you can, watch pretty much any content that you can get your hands on. So, if you had a media server in your house and you went and recorded a bunch of Blu-rays, that's technically, pirating content. But if, Kodi will allow you to hit any stream that's out there on the internet. So if somebody, goes and builds a torrent site and puts an address out there that Kodi can access, you could or someone could configure Kodi to hit that torrent site and have access to that content. I mean, as a matter of fact, any software that someone writes, like, to access content out there could be available to Kodi. Somebody technically could, figure out a way to, hack Hulu or Netflix and, write some kind of service that provides that content out to someone for free. And, if you have a media server like Kodi and there's some person makes it available and they don't get caught, you could access it. So what these people are doing with these jailbroken Fire Sticks is taking it, putting Kodi on it, and then configuring it so you can watch all of this content that's obtained illegally. Now, we cover this actually in our episode 6 of the podcast on Kodi, and the episode's called Kodi Piracy and Illegal Streaming. And I recommend you check that out because we really do get into the nuances. Because while people will tell you that streaming pirated content isn't illegal, it isn't illegal either. I mean, there's never been a decision, there's never been a law in the U.S. anyway about whether or not it is, if you can be arrested or charged with streaming pirated content. And in that episode, we really get into the details of that topic. So I do recommend you check it out. But to, sum it up quickly, just because there hasn't been a law specifically saying it's not that it's not legal to stream pirated content, all it takes is a company to get a district attorney to charge you with theft of their content, and then it's up to a judge to decide. There doesn't need to be a law on the books. They can use precedent. They can use laws, copyright laws saying that, well, it's illegal to, copy a VHS. Oh, wow, I'm dating myself there. It's illegal to copy a Blu-ray and, distribute it. Or even, illegal for your friend to copy it and then you to buy it from him or even to watch it, then it's not far-fetched for a judge to say, well, that's not much different than streaming, even though I think it is technically. But it's really up to the judge to make that call. So you're putting yourself at the mercy of another human being to decide whether or not it is theft or not. And I mean, that call is up to you, whether or not you want to, throw yourself possibly at the mercy of the court to make that decision. But I mean, if you really want to check out that episode if you want more on that. Getting back to the jailbroken Amazon Fire TV stick, it's not jailbreaking. You can purchase an Amazon Fire TV stick yourself and install Kodi on it yourself. And it's like, 5 to 6 easy steps. And the ability to do that is all native to the Amazon Fire TV stick itself, or the Amazon Fire TV for that matter. I mean, all you need to do is you fire up your Fire TV, you go to settings, then you go to system, you go to developer options, and then you enable something called ADB debugging, and you just set it to say, accept apps from unknown sources, and then you go to system, about, network, and just take note of your Fire TV's IP address. Once you do that, you just get an app from the Amazon App Store called ES File Explorer, and then you just go over and click on the tools, downloads, and add a bookmark, and then you put a link in, which will get you to Kodi's site to download the software. And once you have that all set up, you click the link and install Kodi, and then it's installed. And all that is, all those instructions are available on, Kodi's wiki. And Kodi is a reputable organization. They're actually trying to crack down on people who are configuring Kodi to pirate content, or people who are actually selling those devices, because that's what people are doing. They're doing the 7 simple steps I just mentioned to an Amazon Fire TV stick, and then putting Kodi on it, and then enabling all those plugins that allow you to watch a bunch of illegal content, and then they sell those devices, or they'll say, "Send me your Fire Stick, and for some fee, I will set your Fire Stick up to watch, to magically watch all of the content you want." Kodi is fed up with that because it's giving them a bad name, and they're trying to crack down on it. And in the podcast that we did on Kodi in episode 6, there's a companion article to that in the show notes, which kind of goes into all this as well. So getting to the question I get a lot, is a jailbroken Amazon Fire TV stick illegal? And my answer is no, because there really is no such thing. And it's not illegal. It is not illegal to install Kodi or even use Kodi. I've used Kodi. Kodi is perfectly legitimate software. What is a legal gray area is using Kodi, whether it be on an Amazon Fire TV stick, a computer, or some other Android device, to watch content that is pirated. And I say legal gray area because the law hasn't been decided. It's undecided law. And it only takes somebody to charge someone and get them before a judge before it becomes law. And I don't want to be that test case. And I don't think you do. So I just wanted to, make you aware of that. There's no such thing as jailbreaking in Amazon Fire TV. People only say that, so it can sound more complicated than it is to convince people to pay them money to do it. You can do it yourself. You can configure Kodi yourself. The magically watching oodles and oodles of content that you can actually do yourself as well. I'd advise against it, but it's possible. But just dealing with the people who are selling these jailbroken Fire Sticks just gives me an icky feeling to begin with. Because if they were totally on the up and up, they would just call it what it is. I'm installing Kodi on your Fire Stick. And then I'm configuring it to watch torrents or some overseas, streaming site that's showing bootlegged copies of movies. But they just use the euphemism of jailbreaking, which doesn't even apply. But the reason they use it is to just really hide what they are doing from the people that they're trying to extract money from. But you can help fight this. When next time somebody says, jailbroken Amazon Fire TV, you can just say, "Oh, you mean they just installed Kodi on it?" And that's that. And enough of that anyway. Let's get into some football, everyone. How a lot of people have been asking, how are you going to watch the NFL playoffs this weekend? And I have an antenna, so I'm set, because really the tangled web of NFL licensing it all winds up on the major networks. So if you have an antenna and you're in proximity to NBC, ABC, Fox, and CBS, then you will be able to watch all the playoff games. Now, I recorded this a few days ago, so the final playoff picture is not 100% set as of this recording, but I'm going to have a page that I'm going to link in the show notes, which I will update as soon as all the information is available. But I do have some information to give you an idea of all the networks you will need and when those games will come on. The only network really set in stone, or networks, I should say, are Fox, because Fox has the Super Bowl, and that's on February 5th. Fox also has the NFC divisional and championship games because of the way the contract is written. So definitely are going to need Fox. Now, all those networks are easy to do with an antenna. I'm going to go into how some of them can be streamed. And again, because of the licensing rights of certain networks, a streaming service, while they might stream the local network, like Sling TV will stream ABC in some local markets, it's not going to be all markets. So I'm going to have to point you to articles to find out whether or not the local network channel is streamed on a given service. And I know that's a big pain. That's why I say the easiest way to do this is with an antenna. But it is, you can figure it out if you are in, and it's only going to be major markets because that's where network owns and operates the local affiliate. For instance, ABC owns and operates broadcasting out of L.A., New York, Philadelphia, Houston. Basically, it's going to be large populated areas where the network is going to have a stake in that. And the reason for that is, it's easier for Sling to just deal with the network and bundle it into, so they can show that live broadcast through one contract in several cities. Now, that's not to say that there aren't other companies that own and operate local affiliates where it's easy to make those deals as well. They're going after those. So it varies from service to service whether or not you're going to have the live local broadcast depending on where you live. But before I get into all that, let me just go through the schedule of games that are coming up and what networks they're on. And as I said, I will have a page that will be updated as soon as this weekend's games are completed. So by the time, because I'm recording this on Thursday night, so it airs on Monday. So those games that have taken place. So this should be updated by Monday, if not Tuesday at the latest. But I'll have the link in the show notes to the article and the times, places, and teams that'll be playing and when they'll be playing. But for right now, on Saturday, January 7th, there are 2 games. You're going to have an AFC and an NFC wildcard game, and they will air on CBS, NBC, or ABC. And it's the way it works out. It's like basically the NFL made a contract saying you guys get this many wildcard games, and then this network gets this many wildcard games, and then for some reason the NFC games, divisional games, championship games are going to be on Fox and one NFC wildcard. So it's really odd. So I'm just going to go through this. So you need those 3 networks possibly to watch this. And to make it a little more interesting, anything on ABC is also simulcasted on ESPN, or actually vice versa. Anything on ESPN is simulcast on ABC, I think is the actual wording of the contract. But so if you have like Sling TV or Vue or DirecTV Now, you'll be able to catch those games on ESPN. The next day, Sunday, January 8th, the AFC wildcard should be on CBS, NBC, or that ESPN ABC combination, and likely the NFC wildcard will be on Fox. Okay, so the wildcard is actually the most complicated, but I'll get that posted up Monday, and I'll put the link in the show notes, and it'll tell you exactly what's going on and what time things are happening. Now, the divisional round, Saturday the 14th, the AFC divisional is either going to be on CBS or NBC, one of those 2 networks. The NFC divisional definitely on Fox, which is why I said Fox is pretty much a must-have, especially if you're an NFC fan. The next day, same thing. The AFC divisional will be on CBS or NBC, and then the NFC divisional, again, on Fox. So that's Sunday the 15th. And then once you get into the conference championships, CBS is the must-have, because you're going to have AFC championship will definitely air on CBS on Sunday, January 22nd, and the NFC championship that same day will be on Fox. And they usually do a 3 o'clock game and a 6:30 game. But, depending on who's playing, that's, AFC may play the 3 or the 6 or vice versa for the NFC. Then the Pro Bowl, who cares? ESPN. But, okay, for the 5 people out there that watch the Pro Bowl, you need to get Sling or something. Super Bowl 51 is going to air on Sunday, February 5th at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. And to catch it, you need Fox. So, as I said, definitely need Fox. Now, as I said a couple times already, antenna's a way to go, and to help you out with that, I recently updated my guide on the blog on how to choose the best antenna for you. I'll link that in the show notes as well. You can check that out. But you probably want to hear this in podcast form. There's a great tool called TV Full, which will actually tell you where all the stations are and what type of antenna you may need to get that signal. It's a complicated site, so I did a whole podcast on how to use it, and you can check that out. It's episode 11, and it's just called TV Full Improve. It's called TV Full Improve TV Antenna Reception. And it walks you step by step through how to use TV Full and to figure out, can you get these stations and what antenna you're probably going to need. If you go back to episode 2, just simply titled TV Antennas, Joel and I discuss how I use a TV antenna to watch pretty much any network show there is. I know if you grew up with TV antennas, this isn't alien to you, but a lot of people I find had no idea that you could still even use a TV antenna. I mean, this is mainly due to when TV signals used to be analog and they switched over to digital in 2009, and a lot of people just jumped on cable to get their TV reception. But you could still watch TV using a digital tuner, which was included on any TV manufactured after 2007. So really, I mean, the pay TV industry was just really good at marketing themselves as a replacement or a fix to the analog to digital TV signal switchover. So that technology hasn't changed, and you don't even need a digital antenna. Any antenna will work. You could, stick an old set of rabbit ears on the back of your TV, and if you're close enough to the TV tower, your TV tuner will pick up that signal, and you'll be able to watch TV. This is how my family gets all the broadcast networks, every one of them: ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox. We get some PBS. There's also a whole bunch of channels, niche channels that we receive locally. I think we receive roughly almost 50 channels in our area. So not only is it a good way to watch, the NFL, but it's a great way just to get a whole bunch of free TV, period. So antenna is definitely the go-to method, to watch the games this weekend. If for whatever reason you can't get an antenna by the weekend, or, you don't have signals in your area, or they're weak, you can cobble together probably 2 services that'll give you access to ABC, CBS, NBC, and Fox. The first is CBS All Access, and this is a new development from the beginning of December. CBS All Access started streaming the NFL on its live local affiliates. Now, I'll link this in the show notes. I did an article on the cost of CBS All Access. But in that article, I list all of the local affiliates that stream live local CBS through CBS All Access. And it's it's over 150 networks. So more than likely you can stream CBS through CBS All Access in most parts of this country. So CBS All Access is $5.99, and that'll provide a way for most to stream the NFL games that are going to be on CBS during the playoffs. Now, to pick up those other channels, we have a couple methods, and it's only available in some areas. For instance, Sling TV will get you ABC, NBC, and Fox in Chicago, New York, the San Francisco, Oakland, San Jose area, Los Angeles, and Philadelphia. So if you live in those areas and you combine it with CBS All Access, that'll give you the ability to stream all local networks. Then you're also, but to do that, you're going to have to probably buy both the blue and the orange package, and that's $40. So, but that'll get you, a ton of cable channels too. It's pretty much like you have cable over the internet at that point. And you'll have all the local networks if you have CBS All Access as well in those areas. Now, in addition, Fox and NBC are available in Dallas, Fort Worth, and Washington, D.C. So they don't have ABC available in that area. But ABC is available by itself in Fresno and Raleigh-Durham. So depending on what games you want to watch, you'd have to take that into consideration as well. And in addition to the areas that I mentioned where Sling streams all the networks but CBS, they also stream Fox in Orlando, Daytona, Melbourne, Tampa, and St. Petersburg. And they do it in Phoenix. Fox is in Atlanta with Sling, Austin, Texas, Gainesville, Minneapolis, St. Paul, Detroit, and Charlotte. So there's a bunch of cities to get Fox, and Fox is an important one, especially if you want to watch the Super Bowl and the NFC games. And as I go through these streaming services, I'm updating the article that I'm going to link in the show notes, which gives you the lowdown on how to watch the NFL playoffs if you don't have a pay TV subscription, a traditional one through cable or satellite TV. So I'll have all this information in that article as well. Now, you can also get broadcast networks using PlayStation Vue and DirecTV Now. However, I've heard, for instance, Sony PlayStation Vue offers CBS, but due to All Access having the rights to air the CBS station, I'm not sure if you can watch the NFL on that CBS. It might be blacked out. I don't have PlayStation Vue currently, so I wasn't able to test. But I'm sure Sling works with the networks I mentioned, and CBS All Access does. So that's what I recommend going with. But Vue and DirecTV Now also offer some live local channels, and I'll be sure to have that information in that article as well. I'll probably put it in table format for you to see, but there's no guarantee because I haven't tried them personally, although they should work barring some odd NFL licensing issue. But Sling TV, the channels I mentioned, and CBS All Access is a surefire away in the markets that I mentioned. So that's going to wrap it up for this week. I'll have all that information on the NFL playoff schedule updated, hopefully Monday. Link will be in the show notes for that. There will be a link on on TV antennas and how to get one set up and installed and which one's best for you. And some information on Kodi and Jailbroken Amazon Fire TVs and why they really don't exist. Joel will be back next week. We would love to hear from you if you have any comments or questions about the show. All the links to get in touch with us, as I said earlier, in the show notes. You can, subscribe if you really want to help out the show. Because if you hit that subscribe button, then every time I put a new episode out, it will be, go right down to your podcast app, especially on the iPhone. If you're in iTunes and you subscribe, that's how they rank shows. So the higher we rank in the podcast listing, the more people listen to the show. It'll also guarantee that we'll keep making episodes. If you're a subscriber, or even if you're not and you like the show, hit us up with a 5-star review in iTunes, because that also gives us some visibility. We would really appreciate it. If you write a nice one, maybe we'll even read it on the air and show our appreciation. But, subscribe, review the show. Those are really 2 ways that'll really help us out and show your support for Grounded Reason Podcast. So thanks for listening. This is Dennis Restaro, and we will see you next time.